Look at this flock of starlets. How smoothly they fly right next to each other. How come they don't smash into each other? How come schools of fish don't collide? Hundreds move together without one boss fish telling them where to go. Without traffic lights, they just go.
It's called spontaneous order. Now, I usually talk about spontaneous order when I'm talking about the free market. If you leave free people alone to pursue their own interests, like pursuing profit, order emerges naturally. So, could that work for traffic, too? Politicians often sneer at libertarians like me, saying, "Oh, you guys want to get rid of all laws, all rules. How stupid. You want to get rid of traffic lights? Stop signs?" They say that because they assume without direction, without the state telling us when to stop, people would smash into each other. There'd be utter chaos. But that's not true.
Look at this video of an intersection in Drachten, Holland. There used to be stoplights here, but they took them out. Still, cars, people, bikes enter the intersection from 4 different directions, and they just negotiate their way through. Here's another intersection, this one in England. Again, no stop signs or traffic lights. And here's a poor old man wandering into the middle of the street. He'll be crushed? No. The taxi driver slows and waits until the old man moves out of the way.
To help explain how this works, we're joined now by traffic specialist Ben Hamilton Bailey from Birmingham, England. Governments hire him to redesign intersections. So I just find it hard to believe that this can be done in anything but very small towns.
Well, it doesn't appear to be just small towns. The similar schemes are being implemented and already being successful in the centre of London, the centre of Birmingham, where I am, or the centre of Edinburgh, Manchester, and a number of small towns as well. And it appears that getting rid of signs and stoplights and road markings and all the regulatory framework appears to allow traffic to move more smoothly and more safely.
Why?
Well, because humans and drivers are immensely intelligent. We're a very adaptive species. And what traffic lights do is to treat you as a zombie. It does your thinking for you. And as soon as you take away that certainty that the state will look after you, then, remarkably, people begin to interact in the same way that they do on an ice skating rink or in your videos of flocks of shells of fish or flocks of birds.
And there aren't more accidents?
No, there appear to be significantly less accidents.
And in places where you've done this, you've taken out stoplights and accidents dropped. I mean, in Drachten, Holland, dropped from an average 8 per year to 1 per year. And
that's right.
Waiting times also dropped from 50 seconds.
That's right.
So traffic moved faster. Now, I think this is an idea people just don't believe. So let's go to our audience and see what you think about this. So, you have questions for Ben?
What about major intersections?
Well, we're working on a very big intersection in the centre of the city of Oxford at the moment, which has 7 streets converging. It's a complete forest of traffic signals at the moment. They cost a tremendous amount to maintain and to replace. And people have noticed that when there's a power failure and the lights gets turned off, the traffic flows much more successfully.
You're not saying this is for big highways?
No, no. Big highways, we still need major freeways or motorways, places which are solely concerned with the movement of vehicles. And such places need to be highly regulated by the state. We accept the strictures of the police, and we pass exams to use them and so forth. But in the public realm of cities, in streets and spaces, such spaces work well when the state does not try to regulate or intervene heavily, but a natural order is allowed to emerge from everyday priorities.
How expensive is it to have traffic lights?
Yeah, traffic lights cost a lot of money. I don't know, I couldn't tell you exact figures for the states, but typically, to give you an example, in a town called Portishead, near where I live in Bristol, 3 years ago the city installed a set of complicated traffic lights in the city centre at the cost of £850,000. That's a little over $1 million. Last summer they decided to switch them off because as soon as they're installed, the traffic just snarled up, the air quality got very bad, and pedestrians were delayed. They switched them off again, and the traffic flowed much better without them, and they've now kept them switched off ever since last September. There have been no accidents, and the queues have vanished completely.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Oklahoma City, and we have an intersection that probably has an automobile accident every day, and so far no one seems to be able to fix the problem. Would you say that if we just took those traffic lights out that there should be less accidents?
Well, of course, I don't know the particular circumstances, but I would have thought so. All the evidence suggests, both from all the research that's been done, suggests that traffic signals do not add to road safety to any degree. They also don't add to the efficiency of movement to any degree. What they do is simply continue a long tradition of policemen, cops standing on the corner, and us assuming that they were necessary in order to keep traffic flowing.
The usual response and reaction when there's an accident is to say, oh, we have to put up a stop sign there or a stoplight. This is just turns my head around. Of all the places where you've taken lights out, has any town said, oh, we made a mistake, you have to put them back?
Not so far. Although, of course, there's always a tendency for gradually over time for signs to re-emerge as somebody comes along and thinks it's necessary to put a sign up. The trick of good traffic design is to make sure that the expectations and understanding of the drivers are made clear from the word go.
Well,
so
thank you.
Rather than...
Thank you, Ben Hamilton Bailey.